Hello, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. So this is 4 days after my last recording. So at least I'm getting these kind of back on track. I did start saying I'm doing them weekly, but I mean I still intend to do them like twice a week. All on that one. I've been wondering what my what galaxy is in my new channel artwork or banner or whatever. Well, it's simple. It's Andromeda. I think it looks really cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. There's not a lot of suggestions this time, actually, which I'm going to ramble a little bit because I've mentioned it a couple times before. In fact, I do believe I even mentioned it in the last couple episodes, but I want to go through again because I think I have finalized what I'm going to end up doing. Motion blur enabled? No, it's not. Anyways, I'm going to be working on getting some new audio equipment. As you guys probably know, I've mentioned it quite a few times. Galaxy is this? Interesting. Yeah, I'm working on some new audio equipment. It's going to be the what is it? Blue Yeti microphone. I'm going to be getting a pop filter for it because just saying puh puh or anything like that tends to peak the microphone. This one, my AT2020 literally has a sock over it, which does a pretty good job at suppressing that, but it still slightly happens if I talk too close. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I'm planning on getting a Blue Yeti because it's an adjustable microphone, not because it's going to really sound any better. Like, you guys are not going to see a huge difference, or I guess hear a huge difference. But the experience from me recording will probably result in way less outtakes and things like that. Like, I have to dump a lot of my footage for basically just because my recordings are bad or something like that. The audio's messed up, misbalanced. Sometimes I leave that in and people complain about it, so yeah. But there's a lot of footage I've dumped because it's like I go back, listen to it, and it's like, oh wow, I just recorded like a whole 10-minute episode of Universe Sandbox 2, and now I have to re-record that. And I'll sometimes mention it, but sometimes I don't, and then it's like, whoops. What can I really do? But yeah. Um there's a major inconsistency between my Space Engine and Universe Sandbox 2 videos because my music is balanced differently than the audio that's in Universe Sandbox 2. But I play these games in a window, so I'm watching the OBS window and I kind of have an idea of like where the volume is actually at when I'm actually recording these. Like right now with my AT2020, it only goes up about halfway, even though I have like the microphone maxed out, because for some reason the amp in the AT2020 is a lot quieter than everything else. So when I throw this thing into Adobe Premiere, I'm gonna have to like boost the audio by like 5 to 7 decibels, and I have to do that every time I do one of these Space Engine videos. At least the Space Engine videos, I typically get it on the first try. Thankfully, because they're like an hour and 30 minutes long, and they suck when I don't get it the first try. Which has happened before. I've had to re-record Space Engine videos, man, too many times. But yeah, I really want to get a Blue Yeti. It's what I Declare Shenanigans has recommended me. It was the microphone I considered getting when I first bought this AT2020, long before I actually started YouTube. So yeah, I'm thinking the Blue Yeti might be a good choice for the channel and will help everything on the back end. Like I said, the quality will not be too much different. My voice might be a little bit more clear and more loud because this microphone really starts to kind of lose its quality as I start leaning back and get further and further away from it, as you can tell. The next thing is I do plan on getting a new chair. I'm having major back problems because of this chair. I also plan to get a new bed, but that's something completely separate of the channel. But yeah, I plan to get a new chair. This one squeaks too much. I have it locked right now, so it can't really move around too much, but you can... I don't know if you guys can hear the squeak. There we go. So yeah, the chair squeaks a lot. I can make it squeak much louder. It's just, like I said, I have it locked into place right now. Just for the sake of recording. And I've already gone ahead and bought myself a cheap overdone keyboard. Like if I smash these keys, you could probably hear that, but it should be much quieter than my mechanical keyboard, which if I just pull over here, yeah, much different. That's like a foot away from the microphone. This one's just right under the microphone. So yeah, I'm doing what I can to kind of improve that audio. I've not been using my mod mic because, well, it's been having that kind of popping problem, and I've been cutting out a lot on the mod mic. So I'm just trying to cut down my usage of that microphone. And really, that's all I really have to say. I'm deeply considering getting some like acoustic foam, audio foam, to kind of cut down any echo in my room. But when I hear my recordings sound pretty flat. It doesn't really sound like there's too much echo. So I think I want to save myself about $50 in that department and probably not go with the acoustic foam. I might, however, grab like a thick blanket and kind of cut down on the echoes and the highs and just pin that up against a wall or something like that. I don't know. That's something I'll consider after I rework my audio solution. I'll determine if it's actually really necessary. It's not like I live in an apartment with like flat walls and it's super echoey and stuff like that, and there's like nothing in the room. But my room is pretty empty. So, yeah. I think that is everything I have to talk about. Unless there's something else I can think of real quick. I guess my views are at a low right now. I've not been getting enough, like, not enough, but not a lot of views on my videos. They have gone down compared to, like, the beginning of last month and December. It's kind of like January for me right now again. I don't know what's really going on with that. So I've made some changes to like my thumbnail design and all that. I've even gone back and edited probably the last 20 episodes of SpaceEngine Exploration and updated those thumbnails. I don't know if I'm actually going to go all the way back and edit it because, well, equally I feel it kind of shows where I've come from with this channel if I leave the older thumbnails. I'm not going to do that with Universe Sandbox 2. I might change some of the logos to kind of fit the new scale. I don't really know. But processing over 100 thumbnails, over 200 thumbnails, and just editing them all manually and then uploading them and all that, it takes a very, very long time. So I'm probably not going to be doing that for all the older thumbnails. I kind of wanted to do it for the SpaceEngine Exploration series because it's more of a series than the Universe Sandbox 2 playlist that I have going on. The Universe Sandbox 2 playlist I kind of just see as my videos in general. But I am going to be working on trying to make the text more legible for smaller screens and stuff like that, like mobile devices. And kind of just try to make them a little bit more attention-grabbing. But not only that, as you guys can tell, I'm trying to just in general improve the quality of my videos. I might come up with like an intro or something. I don't know if I'm going to do an outro. I think the quote-unquote outro we have going on right now with the new YouTube end screens is perfectly fine. But I don't know if I want to do like some kind of intro or if it's just perfectly fine that we kind of have like a kind of clip of a collision or something, or some event that's kind of related to the episode happen at the beginning of the episode and then it just fades off to the start. I am trying to work on like something new to say whenever I open up a video or whenever I kind of like outro a video or anything like that. Is this a... Oh, it is. It's just a, Oh, no, that's not a star. That's a scorched Selena. Interesting. This is one of the moons. Oh, wow, that planet is completely molten, isn't it? Wow, it's definitely glowing on the backside. Interesting. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I'm trying to come up with like a new phrase at the beginning and end of my videos. Not a big fan of what I say right now. Haven't really been. It's just kind of, I don't even know where that came from. It's just kind of something I just quickly made up one thing and it just kind of stuck. Like what I say, like let's see, I don't even know what I say. I can't even like say it right now. My mind is just so blank on that. Yeah, I don't like what I say in my outros. Let's go ahead and just continue on to some suggestions because I'm basically stalling. I have nothing else to really talk about, and it's been like 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started with a suggestion from the X. And he says, dual planetary system that consists of a blue and purple ice world and a green-yellow toxic desert planet. Here we go. Okay, so here's the blue ice world. You can see some of the cracks in the ice already. If we kind of zoom in a little bit, you'll be able to see that a little bit better. It's got some clouds, which is pretty cool. So that means it does actually have like a pretty decent atmosphere going on. It consists of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, methane, something, and something. Let's go ahead and zoom right in. I am no chemist. And here is its lovely blue atmosphere. And its icy hills. Like, I don't even think that consists of bedrock. I'm pretty sure it's just big mountains of ice. Which, if so, that is very cool. Notice everything kind of has like a rounded appearance as well. You got a wonderful view of the galaxy, which kind of, no, it doesn't really fade off completely when you go to the surface. Got a very, very, like, illuminated galactic center, though. We're gonna have to zoom out and check that out in a moment. Very nice. But he did say this was a dual planetary system. Oh, look, there's another galaxy right there. Yeah, that's a pretty cool view. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to find our sistering planet. I'm not seeing it as of yet. It's not illuminated on the backside, so it must be towards the parenting star, perhaps? Gonna have to zoom out. Ah, there it is. And here is the toxic world, which isn't so toxic. Carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Yes, perhaps carbon dioxide is probably something you shouldn't be breathing, but that is definitely what you are exhaling. So we got an active volcano here. Kind of a short one, I think. Oh, wow, look at that. It's like a neon green. Yeah, it definitely looks like something you should not be breathing. I'm sure there's probably like a third component in this atmosphere that's probably not too healthy. Well, again, it's a ice world, very, very cold. But, well, I mean, I guess it's not really an ice world. It's technically a desert, but it looks like it would be covered in ice. The surface looks like ice anyways. There's snow everywhere. Like, here's some snow. I think. That might just be sand. No, it's just sand. Really, really cold sand. There must not be a lot of gases or, like, water or anything to actually condense on this, planet, because it doesn't appear there's too much snow. I thought this was snow at first, but I guess that is just sand. Or it could just be snow with, like, kind of a dune appearance. These mountains don't have any snow caps on them. These higher altitude ones. Interesting. Is there at least polar caps on this planet? It's a very, very cold desert. And there's that other galaxy that we're looking at. And here's the galaxy we're in. A white ring galaxy texture. I could be wrong, though. Let's go ahead and zoom out. I think I know where we're at. That's really cool, though. Oh, no, this is... Oh, it's actually a galactic collision between two purple galaxies. Very nice. This is a tiny little spiral galaxy here. And this one looks like it's about to shoot us with some gamma ray jets because we're looking like straight at the black hole here. I guess it's off at a little bit of an angle. No clue where the central black hole is, unless this is the central black hole, which I highly doubt. Yeah, it's not. Maybe that one is. Normally the central black holes in the center of these galaxies are, yeah, normally they are blue stars as seen in the game. As you saw there at the last second, it was a blue star, and we're looking straight at the black hole. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from the X. And Gabriel responded to that comment saying that galaxy looks very cool. So let's go ahead and paste this in. The X says this is a nice looking desert planet. It is also quite cloudy. Here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off the clouds for a moment. Oh yeah, that's a very, very, very nicely detailed desert planet. It has multicellular terrestrial life, of course. I don't think it's going to be sea life on a desert world. Let's go ahead and enable the clouds again. And let's touch down on this region between the sand and grassy texture, it looks like. You see that very abrupt change into a mountain range there? It's kind of like cut there. At least with the texture. That makes for a very cool effect though, where it's just cut like that. It gets rid of any hilly plateau, it's just like straight up the side of the volcano. Oh, it actually is the green grass texture. And we got these beautiful mountains. Sedimentary rock texture, but it's also very fitting. Interesting. Keep pressing right click. I do not intend to do that. That makes me do this. But very nice nonetheless. Oh wow, that looks very cool. See, this is like a actual Earth-like desert planet or something like that. This is like actually very I don't know if I want to say natural looking, but natural looking, I guess. It actually looks very cool. However, the atmosphere is not very fitting. It looks like the sun is like setting or something. When the parenting star is actually right there, so it's a very, very dark atmosphere. But the planet itself looks very cool. Absolutely love this detail. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's go ahead and turn off the clouds again. Let's go right here. Looks like we have some snow on these volcanoes. And I don't think that is life texture. I think this is just a huge rocky area of the planet or something. Everything's just kind of using the same texture. A little bit of sedimentary rock there. Interesting. It's like the coarse, ashy area of the planet or something like that, or like some type of rock or something. That strikes me as a little bit odd. Really nice, lovely detailed world, for sure. And there's a large Selena moon. Okay, so what galaxy is this? UGC 1810, also known as ARP 273. Oh, that is a very cool looking galaxy. Yeah, that's definitely not one of the procedural galaxies. That's definitely galaxy specific, I do think. Very cool. Go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from Mr. Star Wars, and he says he found Yavin 4 2.0. I think, at least I think that's pronounced Yavin. Let's go ahead and paste in the ID. You also might want to check out the unique galaxy nearby. I'll give it a quick look. Our nearby gas giant. Let's go ahead and just turn off the clouds. Whoops, turn off the water. Very nice. So, is there actually life on this planet? There certainly is. Marine and terrestrial, multicellular. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are wondering why my voice is so scratchy, I'm coming down with yet another sore throat for like the 50th time in the past 2 months. I either have the worst immune system in the world, more recently, or I happen to live in a cesspool. You know, I'm thinking both are true, so. I hate being sick. Okay, I can't really tell what type of life this is, but it's on some really nice eroded hills, so I'll give it that. There's a little bit of grass texture. I don't know what that is, though. I think it's just a treetop texture with a weird color to it. So it makes it hard to identify. And once again, just like the last episode, we have a super thick atmosphere, but this one's not really gray, it's just more white. And here is a bluish-green river, it looks like. Definitely a green river. That's when you turn off the atmosphere, that looks very cool. Let's go ahead and turn that atmosphere back on. And let's go ahead and fly out of it. Where are we? Is this a star cluster? I think this might just be a star cluster. I could be wrong, though. Is this the actual galaxy itself? Is it like that small of a galaxy, or is this a star cluster? It is a star cluster, just not a super dense one. Okay. So, is this the galaxy you were talking about? Oh, that actually does look pretty cool. I don't know if this is actually one of the random galaxy textures, or if this is exclusive to, I guess, M90. But I see that look kind of cool right there. I do believe that is one of the random galaxy textures there, but it's being used on a cataloged galaxy. Very nice, and looks like we have something else right over here. Yeah, we're in a pretty dense cluster. I think we saw that texture earlier in this episode. Look at all of these spiral galaxies. I've seen that texture many times before. Still one of my favorites. It's just a dense cluster of like spiral galaxies, it looks like. Very nice. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Mr. Star Wars. This Terra has a dense, vibrant rainbow rings and its parent gas giant. Oh, I didn't even check. I'm actually going to go back to the last suggestion. I want to go see the night sky with that gas giant. And here we go. So there is some land right there. Let's just see what this looks like in the night sky. Oh, so there's that huge galaxy right there. I don't see it. Ah, there it is. Our parenting planet. You can see all these beautiful bright stars from the star cluster, and you can see the beautiful red gas giant illuminating this planet with a kind of Really nice reddish fade. I think that is very beautiful. And right there is the parenting gas giant. Very nice. That is pretty cool. Let's see if we can get some nice clouds up in the view. I don't think I'm going to be able to manage to do that. Yeah, that's really the best I could do right there. But a really nice view nonetheless. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which he said, Terra has a dense, vibrant rainbow rings. Okay. Like its parent gas giant. Let's get rid of that question mark there. And here we go. Hello. I have my field of view still turned up. There we go, all corrected. That does have some very vibrant rings. I don't know what's going on there. Is my field of view... I don't even know what my field of view is anymore. Still kind of warping and doing weird things. This just feels like my face is pressed against the screen. But that might be the correct field of view. Okay, so yeah, very nice rainbow rings. Kind of has a pinkish color. Kind of a tan there. Then goes off to green. Maybe a slight bluish green. And pinky yellow. Very cool. This Terra does have life, marine and terrestrial. It is a moon. Ah yes, there's a parenting gas giant right over there. Which kind of has the same thing going on for the rings, just a lot more green in it. Very cool. Let's go ahead and touch down right over here next to this kind of snowy area. Oh, very nice. You can see the color of the rings. Kind of got like a pinkish twilight effect from the sun setting. And you got this lovely view of that gas giant up in the sky. That is really cool because we're not actually orbiting on the same plane as the rings. We're actually kind of north and south of the gas giant, looking right up at its poles. Very awesome. And here are some of those snowy mountains. Got an erosion effect going on. Light. I can't quite see the star yet. But due to the nature of how video games light up games, you can typically see the reflections of the illuminating object before it actually appears in the room. Bump mapping kind of has this trait. Very shiny snow. It's just snowy for a while, isn't it? Ooh, just crashed right into the snow. Let's see if we can spot the life texture on the shore here. Looks like the cracked mud texture. I'm not quite seeing any life yet. Oh, that might actually be life right there. That might be like treetops, just a weird color. I think that's the same texture that was used on the other planet. As you can see in the daytime atmosphere, kind of lose their saturation, but you still have a beautiful view of our parenting gas giant over there. Very nice. And now that I have a better look at that, yeah, I want to say that's a bunch of trees. Very cool. Let's go ahead and zoom out and see what kind of view we have of our kind of galactic neighborhood. So we're in a galactic collision again. There's that beautiful blue galaxy texture that I say is typically my favorite because it certainly is. I love that shade of blue that it actually uses. And it looks like we're in a white spiral no, ring galaxy it looks like. No, that's not really much of a ring galaxy. It's more of a spiral galaxy. I love these blue galaxies, though. They have a really cool appearance. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Irish Rebel. Okay, sorry about that, I am back. I think the next suggestion was from Irish Rebel. I went and got a drink to kind of soothe my throat a little bit. Paste in a suggestion, let's pay it a visit. It says it's a frozen titan with life. It has dark rings, and its parent star is a white dwarf. Okay, so here's our titan with life. Marine and terrestrial. What happens if we turn off the atmosphere? Oh, it gets much darker. So I don't think we're going to actually be able to see the life texture. Because, well, it's just very dark. Unless that's the life texture. I think it might be, but it could equally just be some type of ice. There is the parenting star, which is apparently... We'll check that out in just a moment. First off, let's go ahead and turn off real planet brightness. Okay, that made it much brighter. I think that might be a life texture. If so, it's kind of like a cool... I guess it's exotic life, so it might just be some cool, like, glowing kind of life. Like some type of plant that illuminates or something. That would be very cool. And very alien. That looks like ice right there. Interesting. Let's go ahead and touch down on this side of the planet. What is this dark stuff? Oh, it's mountains. And the sides of the mountains have like a cool kind of blue appearance. Pretty sure that's just some kind of rock right there. Probably iron rich or something. Let's go ahead and turn back on real planet brightness. Oh, that got much darker. Very cool. Let's go ahead and check out the white dwarf. So this is supposedly a white dwarf over here. It certainly is. Does it have an accretion disk? Whoa, flew right past it. So this is a star that's gone through a planetary nova phase. It's lost its outer shell. Probably violently. During the last stage of its life, and since then, while it may be probably very hot right now, the temperature is 74,000 degrees, much hotter than our sun because, well, that's the core of a star, of course. What's interesting about it is it's probably not putting out as much energy, as in, the star itself is very warm, but it's probably not flaring up nearly as much. Over here, it's orbiting at a semi-major axis of 1.85 astronomical units, not too far away. Very, very cold. Cool. So let's go ahead and actually let's check out some of these other planets here. We have some pretty cool gas giants in this system. Nice large rings, as you can see, against the kind of lighter inner galaxy right there. Very cool. And then we have a larger gas giant, which I was able to see from the star, I think. No, I don't think this is one I saw from the star. I'm pretty sure this is the big blue one that was visible from the star. Yes, there it is. No rings on this one, though. And then we have this very cool looking galaxy, which has some dark clouds in it. Oh, very nice. I think I've seen this galaxy before, actually. If not, I've at least seen this texture. Looks pretty cool. And that is a weird way to look at the Galactic center right there. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Irish Rebel. Let's get rid of that space at the beginning there. And it's in the same galaxy. Another frozen titan with life. He says, it's also a titan. It has one giant continent and two small oceans. Its parent star is a red dwarf. So there is the parenting stars, and here's the titan. It apparently has life. I think that is one of the oceans, and that might be the other, or that might just be some kind of lake. Let's go ahead and zoom in right below these cyclones here. This is pretty cool looking. Kind of a purplish atmosphere, but a very dark purple. Everything kind of has a rusty color to it, with a bit of snow and a bit of a dark color. So yeah, I would say a very oxidized color, I guess. Even though it doesn't appear there's any real oxygen in the atmosphere. Looks like primarily nitrogen, which is common with these worlds. There's the ice rock texture. Turns out to be my favorite world in the game. I've mentioned it before because, well, for one, they use different textures than all the other planets in the game. And two, they always have like a unique composition and appearance. They're always very cold, as is, well, kind of the definition of a Titan planet, but why? Off real planet brightness to see if we could see some of this terrestrial life. Oh, that gave it a nice bright pink appearance. Oh, I guess it's the atmosphere kind of making it look pinkish. Can't quite see any life yet. Beautiful icy hills. Ah, that might be a life right there, which looks very porish. Porous? Yeah, probably porous. Got kind of like a pink color, pink and green color going on there. There's some rocks. Interesting. Is that the life texture? If so, that might be triggering some people who have that phobia against things with holes in it or whatever the hell that is. I certainly don't have that though. I don't know what's really going on here. That might be a life texture too. I'm not really too sure about that. Really just looks like some kind of snow, to be honest. Let's go ahead and go to the coast. Whatever oceans there might be on this world. There's one of the oceans, which it turns very blue over here. Let's check this out. Why is it so blue out here? Ah, there's a life texture. It's that clovery texture, and then we got like this blue stuff just kind of in between it all. Interesting. And there's the roofed treetop texture with kind of an orange appearance with more of this blue stuff kind of here. I can only assume it's like ice or something. But once you turn on that real planet brightness, it's hardly distinguishable and it's all very dark. But there's a lovely view of the auroras. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and back out and move on to the next suggestion. What galaxy is this? Oh yeah, that's right, it's the same galaxy. Yeah, I was wondering why it looked so weird. Okay, so the next suggestion is from the Interstellar Storm 4180. Let's go ahead and select this ID. And paste it right in. So he says it's a Terra with rings. And its primary gas giant. Oh, whoa. Okay. I'll save that for when we get here. Nicely detailed Terra. Very bright, very vibrant. A lot of color to it. Big fan. With some big, I would say, silver and gold rings. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and just touch down right here. Next to this giant crater. Smack into the ground. Okay, so we got some kind of life texture going on here. Not too sure what that is. Some type of grassy, mossy texture or something. Here is our darker life texture, which looks mostly the same, I would say. Actually, no, there's something different going on there. And over here we have a deep crater with more of the same life textures just growing on the edges of it and down in the bottom of it. Stars are pretty visible. I think we might be in a star cluster. Cool view of the galactic collision. Fun fact, my channel banner was going to be a galactic collision, but I couldn't really find a good view. I think it was going to be this exact galactic collision. I've been getting a lot of suggestions in this area in the past few episodes. Where's the parenting gas giant? Oh. No, I misread that. The primary composition, gas composition. I thought you said there was a gas giant that consisted of all oxygen. I was about to be surprised. Wow, look at that appearance on that cyclone there. That is cool looking. And right here is the eye of the storm. Oh, look at that. That is awesome looking. The primary composition of this planet is oxygen. Look at that sunset. That is very cool. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. That cyclone looks very awesome from like space. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from the interstellar storm. Let's go ahead and copy this. There we go, and let's just paste it right in. My game is starting to lag, so that might be a sign that it's getting ready to crash. Oh. How did I manage to copy the title of the video? I don't even know. And let's go. Okay, so it's a Terra with dark green rings. Ah, there's the dark green rings, and yes, they are certainly green. There's a shadow of the planet on the rings right there. And an atmospheric pressure almost that of Earth. By the way, if you go behind the planet, on the second suggestion, with an eclipse, the rings look awesome. With the green glow. Oh, I see what you mean. You want me to go, like, behind it like this. It kind of makes a star green. I see it, like, changing the diffraction spikes on it. Let's change it to something different than anamorphic. That doesn't make a big difference. People want me to set it to this as the diffraction spikes. I personally don't like this one that much. I think they want me to use this one, actually. While I would say it's more realistic, like, to the human eye, because this is essentially what your iris does, like this effect. I'm not a big fan of that one, because I do a lot of cinematic quote-unquote videos, and I kind of use the fake lens flare. Well, I really like the anamorphic one. I'm just a big fan of it. Obviously got that montage dubstep remix look to it. I'm gonna be getting some quick scopes and stuff and throwing lens flare everywhere. I really like the way this one looks, and I love the way its lens flare looks too. It's not too attention grabbing, it's very subtle, I would have to say. So let's go ahead and zoom in. We got some really bumpy hills, sedimentary rock texture. I guess it's probably too late in the episode to mention because, well, a majority of the people who probably clicked on this video are no longer watching it because it's a very long video. But what I was going to say is, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, like, speed up your suggestions, like, you just want to say, look at the planet from the outside, don't actually land on it, and look at, like, the life and all that stuff, you guys can specify, just look at the rings, or don't bother looking at the planet itself, just look at the view around it, or something like that. That is totally acceptable and would probably get through these suggestions a lot faster. Because in this suggestion, the interstellar storm only really mentioned the rings. He didn't say actually go onto the planet and look at the life on it and all that kind of stuff. Like, maybe there's just a favorable view that you want me to go and check out. Maybe you want me to check out the planet in full detail. I don't know. Specify that. If not, well, then I'll probably just go with whatever I go with. But this kind of has that generic life / treetop texture, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like some type of forest. And there goes steam. Okay. Got a volcano here covered in snow and lava. Definitely some active some volcanic activity going on. Some active volcanic activity that's also very active. It appears to be active while also being active. Got some canyon terrain over here. Very nice. Some lovely erosion. It would be kind of cool if like rivers generated at the bottom of this, or just like small creeks or something. And we got some kind of winded sand. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Oh yeah, the atmospheric pressure. Where's that at? 1.02, so actually very similar to Earth's. Okay, so the next suggestion is from Derp Sauce Gaming. Let's go ahead and paste in this ID. I'm not used to this keyboard. It's slightly different size than my normal keyboard, so I keep mispressing keys. Okay, so let's go ahead and pay a visit. He says it's a planet that kind of looks like Pluto. No, it kind of does look like Pluto. I'll give it that. And fly in the areas that are at the brown and the white rocks, the moon. What? Oh, you forgot like a comma there. The moon is a fake Milky Way. It's in a fake Milky Way. Is this not the Milky Way? It looks like the Milky Way. That's not the Milky Way. Oh, okay, okay. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yep, okay. It is a... before. Is this the one from my video where I found two just like side by side? No, it doesn't appear so, but yeah, it's a fake Milky Way. Okay, I understood. That took me a moment. I was very confused because I was like, okay, the actual look when looking towards the center of the galaxy looks just like the Milky Way. No, it's just a galaxy using the Milky Way's texture. Took me a moment. Okay, so it is a planet that apparently looks a lot like Pluto. Well, not really a planet, but it is a moon of that gas giant right there. This is kind of like what people would probably imagine Pluto to look like before we actually got some high-res photos of it. But very cool. No life to really check out. Just kind of this snowy ice texture, and it's kind of mud texture, I guess. Go ahead and just check it out from this view. Yeah, it's a really cool view. Not really much of an atmosphere going on. There is a little bit of an atmosphere. In fact, it looks like Pluto's atmosphere. It's not as thick, but it's got that small glow around it. And I've seen over here this little glowing orange spot, so we do have some volcanic activity as well. Very nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which I did read this comment before actually recording this video. I saw it when he posted it. He says, go to J1407. I mean, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this ID in. Let's see. And let's pay it a visit. Oh, it doesn't appear to be loading. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna have to move on to his other suggestion. And let's just go ahead and paste this in. And here we go. Okay, so it's a frozen titan with life. It's one of these ones with some crazy clouds going on, but he says it's a kind of desert-like titan, which it does look like. In fact, if I were to look at this without actually seeing that up in the corner, I would have to say that this is a desert world. But it's not. It's actually a titan. Let's go ahead and touch down. Okay, so we immediately found our life texture. It looks like purple life. Exotic multicellular, marine and terrestrial. Okay, so this and its moon, the main body is a desert-like titan with blue ice caps, and the other is an ice world with a pink atmosphere. They are in a fake Andromeda galaxy. Was that your theme for this video? It's just looking up fake Milky Ways and Andromedas? Because I've definitely found those before. Okay, so it looks like we have two cloud layers. Let's just disable the clouds for the sake of actually being able to see. Snowy mountains there. Let's see if we can find that blue ice texture, which I have yet to actually see. Unless that's it. Yeah, that might be it. Very cool. Let's go to the lighter side of the planet. We got a volcano here, which is active with some kind of sludge. Not lava, though. Maybe just like a giant geyser or something. Ah, here we are. So there's a little bit of like sedimentary rock texture kind of being blended in, but a lot of it's just blue ice, which looks very cool. This is supposedly a fake Andromeda galaxy. It doesn't have that kind of signature blue appearance that the Andromeda galaxy has. Maybe it's just because we're closer to the center. I'm not really too sure. But let's go ahead and re-enable clouds. Locate that moon. Just click on the planet. I think this is one where we have selected here. And there's the moon. It does not have life. It is a frozen ice world with a pink atmosphere. Kind of got a rusty color to it, some cracked ice, a lot of craters. This one, in fact, has some, like, snow or ice or something at the edge of it. And there's no live texture to really look for. Oh, I see. It's kind of a dirt texture, coarse rock, and a little bit of snow. There's that pink atmosphere. Very nice. And here's, like, some of those cracks or... I don't really know. Maybe fault lines? Very likely not fault lines, but cracks in the ice. Very cool. Let's go ahead and zoom out and check out this fake Andromeda galaxy. Ah, that is the Andromeda galaxy, in fact. We're just not in the blue region. If we're over here... Yeah, it's got a much more, like, bluish appearance in this area. Okay, that looks a little bit more like Andromeda. You know, I'm kind of convinced. I've not actually done a comparison. But I think the Andromeda galaxy actually uses the same texture as the Milky Way galaxy. I think it's just changed up ever so slightly in this game. Now, that may sound absurd, but let's pay attention to this band right here in the center, and this band on the outside. Oh no, they don't actually use the same texture. They look very similar. Now, was that the actual Andromeda galaxy, or was that like a fake one? Because that was very close. I do know a lot of the galaxies kind of like in our cluster use a few of the same textures. Oh yeah, I think it's just a different galaxy. Because it doesn't have the two elliptical galaxies next to it. This is Circinus? I wanted to say Circonus at first, but no, that's not correct. And yeah, it uses the Andromeda galaxy texture. Cataloged galaxies, they reuse a lot of like the other quote-unquote pre-made textures. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out these next suggestions from Galactic, apparently. And he suggested 2 Kepler planets. He says they are 2 super-Earths that are apparently more habitable than our actual Earth. I don't think this one's in the game. Nope, there it is. It is a cool desert. Really too much to see here. Let's go ahead and touch down right here. Yeah, this desert's not very detailed in any way. It's just kind of a bright desert, but the atmosphere composition is not what I would consider habitable. And it's supposedly a super Earth, so it's going to be much bigger than Earth. Where is the diameter? 18,000 kilometers, 1.41 times the size of Earth. Interesting. But it is a procedurally generated planet. It doesn't appear there's any custom parameters to make it seem like an actual Earth-like planet in the game. Next one is 442b. Here it is. Not too far away. What is going on here? Okay. So in this game, I think it is safe to say that this planet is not habitable. That is a huge plume going off of it as that planet evaporates away. So that is definitely not a habitable world in the game. Interesting nonetheless. That is a very, very powerful orange dwarf. Like, look at how bright that is. It's crazy. But very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Plazasta. He says, it's a terror with life that has turquoise water. Let's go ahead and just paste those in. Oh, that is cool. That's actually a very detailed world. The turquoise water adds like a really cool, I don't know, kind of contrast effect to this kind of dark terrain. But I assume that is our life texture right there. I do have atmosphere on, right? Yeah, I do. Interesting. This must just have a very thin atmosphere. It definitely does. Oh, I went right into the water. So if I turn off the atmosphere, it still has kind of a greenish appearance. It only really looks turquoise when you're from, like, looking at it from the outside, though. Interesting. Trying to slow the camera down here enough. Yeah, we have a grass texture. And then we have, I think, treetops. I can be completely wrong about that, though. And there's a parenting star. The atmosphere is just enough to kind of get rid of its diffraction spikes. And lens flare, and let us actually see the lovely detail of that close by star. Very nice. There's some cracked mud. And let's go see what the sunset looks like on a planet with a green atmosphere like this. Right next to these auroras, which I have turned up insanely brightly right now. Snowy kind of snow peaks over here. That looks pretty cool. Kind of a pinkish sunset. Pretty cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from Plazasta, and he says it is a cool gas giant with life. The peculiar thing about it is that it's not tidally locked and has a temperature of negative 61 degrees, but the following planet, A5, is a hot Oceania. Okay. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so here's the gas giant with aerial life, organic multicellular. In some kind of purplish galaxy, it looks like. And it does have a temperature of negative 66 degrees Celsius. Let's go ahead and fly over to the other planet, which is A5, which is one of its moons. So, 5. No. Oh, you mean A5 is one of the planets that are actually orbiting the star? Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. It actually has life on it, though, too. So it's a tidally locked world. But you're saying it's not tidally locked. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so what you're saying is it does turn nighttime on this storm side of the planet. Correct? Well, it appears to be tidally locked. But you're saying it's peculiar that the gas giant's not tidally locked. Could just be that it's a smaller body, but I don't really know the properties of what makes things tidally locked or not. We have another tidally locked world right over here. As you can see, even that closer gas giant's not actually tidally locked. This one's orbiting 3 to 1. But it's still rotating. This one's orbiting 2 to 1, so it's not rotating as much. So it just seems like these small Terra worlds are just more prone to actually being tidally locked to their parenting stars. That is a strobe effect. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion with far less time scaling than that. The next suggestion is from Jacob Plays, and he suggests a random nebula. I do not get that one a lot. Okay, so it's just 5555, 555, 5. Got a lost count there. It's a planetary nebula. And it was a nebula that crashed my game. Okay, let's get back in here. Hello, Andromeda. Alright, let's go ahead and paste. Nope, well, not that. I'll just copy his ID instead of typing it. Okay, here we go. And the game crashed again. This nebula, it's a trap. Attempt 32. Are you messing with me? Is this like a bugged out nebula? I crashed my game yet again. It's OBS. Okay, there goes OBS. Okay, this is my last attempt. Wow, it crashed again. Okay, this nebula seems consistent at crashing my game, apparently. Gabriel the Hun says it looks exactly like the Helix Nebula, which we'll just go to the Helix Nebula, I guess. So it apparently looks like this nebula. Just interesting because I don't think randomly generated nebulas generate this way, but there you go. Now, I don't know if you guys want to try that ID, but it kept crashing my game. Sounds a bit odd. The next one he wants me to go to is Nix, one of Pluto's moons. I've been there many times. In fact, I do believe I've been there in a recent episode as well. But, hello, little asteroid. No, wait, this isn't one of... Is it one of Pluto's moons? I think it's one of Pluto's moons. Could be wrong. No, it's not one of Pluto's moons. It's just an asteroid, isn't it? No, wait, that's Pluto right there, isn't it? No. Yes? Maybe? What are you? Oh, you're not. What? Okay. Let's go back to Nix again. Yeah, it is a dwarf moon of Pluto. Okay, I was correct about that. I was about to say, am I really getting these facts completely wrong? Yeah, let's go to Pluto, which is right over here, and might as well show the beautiful glow that Pluto has around it, the atmosphere. Very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Gabriel. This one's a random nebula. Hopefully, a random nebula is not going to crash my game. And here we go. That looks pretty cool. It's generated oddly close to each other. Have you not seen that one Oh, whoa. Whoa. I was about to say, have you not seen that one galaxy that Andromeda suggested with like the 10 bazillion nebulas in it? What is going on here? It's like a three-way galactic collision, it looks like. Oh, that's exactly what it is. That looks so cool from that nebula. But yeah, pretty nice. Two planetary nebulas, just two stars that just kind of ejected their outer shells at once. Pretty cool. The next suggestion, once again, is from Gabriel, and he suggests a random planet. He says, I found this solar system near the two nebulas. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so he says it's a binary white dwarf system with a red dwarf orbiting around the white dwarf. The dwarf itself is very cool, or has a very cool illumination effect. I can already kind of see it because it kind of has a purple appearance from the angle I'm looking at it from. The red does kind of, as you can see there, make it fade to a different color. About it is this is a really nicely detailed red dwarf, mind you. But the white dwarf also has an accretion disk. So what's that mean? Is it actually taking matter away from this red dwarf? I don't really know. But that's very cool nonetheless. You don't normally see that unless it's like a white dwarf or a neutron star or something orbiting around like a red giant or something. Pretty cool. Anyways, let's continue. It's a binary white dwarf system. Red dwarf. The red dwarf itself has a very cool illumination effect. All 5 planets in the system have something unique about them. The first planet is a Selena, with a kind of cool texture. It's very bright. I don't know what's up with that red shine. You can kind of see like a red shine here. That might just be the illumination from the red dwarf that you were talking about. Oh, that's exactly what that is. Oh, that's pretty cool. Check that out. It's like partially still illuminated here. That sun is not quite set yet, so it has like a ominous red color, and then it's like super insanely bright, blinding craziness. That's actually pretty cool. Oh, you know what's interesting is that we have those 2 nebulas, which are apparently nearby, right there and right over there. Since that's also a white dwarf, that also means that it was also a planetary nebula not too long ago as well. Pretty nice. Over here we have a gas giant. Right. And there's those 2 nebulas again. Over here we have a hot desert. Locked. Don't see anything too crazy going on here other than it has a very, very thick atmosphere, I think. Or at least a very, very thick cloud layer. Oh, it has a couple cloud layers. Oh, it has 3. Okay, that would explain a lot. Very hot world, and then we have 2 planets with life. This one's a biogenesis. The life is native to this planet. It's a star with life. I think that is a polar cap right there. And I'm not really seeing any major continents. Oh, there's one. A lot of ice, very cold planet. Life is both marine and terrestrial. I just can't really find the life texture. I think this is the life texture right here. But it's blending really well with that sand. Some snow here. Pretty cool. And there's a volcano, not active. And this one, I think he mentioned, is panspermia, so the life is invasive. Which means life from this Terra probably invaded this planet right over here, which we caught just in time for a pretty cool looking eclipse. Very cool. And there's a little moon that's eclipsing it, with that weird conglomerate of a galaxy over there in the background. Man, that galaxy looks... Those galaxies look crazy. Anyways, let's see. So he says the third planet, I think. So it's kind of cool texture. The second planet is much bigger than both of the stars. Oh, okay. So you're saying this is bigger than the stars themselves. The diameter is 120,000 kilometers, while these stars are even smaller. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even think about that. And I think you were saying... No, never mind. Well, I accidentally flew into this gas giant. Oh, you're saying the third planet is a pinkish desert, but it has a blue atmosphere. Doesn't look very pinkish. A little bit of pink, but it's mostly blue. Anyways, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Which, let's see. You know what? I think that is all the suggestions for this episode. Rattle Games is asking me to go to Eris and Earth's Quasimoon. You can't actually go to Earth's Quasimoon. It's not in the game. And, whoops, totally misspelled it. I think Eris is in the game. Yeah, it's a dwarf planet orbiting around the sun. Or, yeah. Dark one that's very far away. Be around the same diameter, if not a little bit bigger than Pluto. But there it is. Can't really see it too well. Way out there, though. It looks so far away. The last suggestion for this video. If you guys liked the video, please leave it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. It really does help. And I'll see you guys in the next one.